This is a Hoplite legendary weapon tier list. I've had a lot of people ask me to do a tier list and ask like which legendary weapons are the best and blah blah blah. So I've decided finally I'll just do my own little tier list. This is gonna be all my opinions. I'll factor in some different things like what it's good for, if it's easier to craft. It's gonna be more about like if you're actually crafting the weapon, less about if you get it from Gerald, but I will mention how good the weapon is. Before we get into our first legendary, I just want to say real quick, this was streamed live on Twitch, so make sure you drop a follow if you haven't. And I'm also doing a Hoplite VIP giveaway in my Discord, so make sure you join that and join the giveaway. All right, the first one is Midas Sword. This is the most recent update, which includes like Midas Sword. Midas Sword no longer starts with sharp 1. It now starts at sharp 0. It's a 100% chance to get sharp 1 and 2 off your first 2 kills, and there's a 50% chance after. And they've also nerfed how much gold you get from it. And if that is not the biggest B tier weapon, it honestly might be a C tier weapon. I'm not gonna lie. They've kind of murdered Midas. For the cost of a notch apple, I guess in the current state of Hoplite where there's not many enchants, it's not bad because not people are even gonna have like sharp 3+. There's a chance that if you get Midas, it's just gonna be so weak at the beginning that you just drop with it anyways, and the notch apple would have been better. I think I'm gonna start off with putting Midas in C tier, kind of so you guys can see what my ranking is. It's not that good considering it's a diamond sword. Everything else is like a light netherite. So I'm gonna keep Midas in C tier. I think it's like top of C tier though for sure. The next one we got is Artemis Bow. They have buffed it recently where they made it so any enchantments do work on the homing arrow now. At least that's what I remember them putting in the last patch notes. So I would like to say the Artemis is actually pretty okay now. I would say before they made it so the enchantments worked on the homing arrows again, it was probably a D tier. But like if you get a flame Artemis Bow now and you can like chain some lightning shots with like flame and stuff, I actually think it might be bottom of B tier because it's a power 3 bow. It's not really expensive to craft. I feel like the thing is that totems are not as strong as like a notch apple. Like sure, it like saves you from dying, but in reality you get absorption for like 2 seconds and then you instantly die anyways. It's bottom of B. We'll move it. We'll move all of the legendaries where I think they are in their ranking as well. So now we're gonna go for Reaper Scythe. And I honestly think this is still an S tier. So they buffed it so it now takes 25% of the HP of the person you hit. It gives it to you. 25% is way bigger than 20. And you also still steal, well, you don't steal. You copy their potion effects and all it costs is a head and a wither skull. It's just an S tier. Easily still an S tier. And then we got Sonic Crossbow. I mean, let's think about this. Every 16 seconds, you get to deal like 3 hearts of damage. It also creates distance. And if you find Ancient City, it's pretty much free to craft, you know? So like, it doesn't really cost a lot. I honestly think Sonic is an A tier. I don't think it's good as S. I also consider factors like this is a weapon where if you get multi-shot on it, it's an instant win. I feel like you got to factor that in. Like you don't always, so first of all, it's a rare weapon and you don't always get multi-shot, but if you get multi-shot on the Sonic Crossbow, it's an instant win weapon. You just win. Like it starts doing like 10 hearts a hit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like that's gotta be factored in there. It doesn't cost anything to craft if you find the Ancient City pretty much. Like everything that you need is going to be in the Ancient City. It's definitely like a situational thing where like if you can actually get the things, you can craft it. So I think just the fact that it can be enchanted with multi-shot, it's not really expensive to craft, it has good movement and it does good chip damage and it's a 16-second cooldown. I think it's good. The next is Dragon Katana. Dragon Katana, first of all, it's the only, I think it's the only netherite base sword, right? It has good movement. It's a netherite base. You can enchant it. If you find the stronghold, it's pretty much craftable every time. I think it's literally like the top of A. It's either top of A or end of S. That's valid. I'm not gonna put this in like perspective of getting it from Gerald. This is more like if you're crafting it, but I will put my opinion. If you do get Katana from Gerald, it is easily an S because you're getting it pretty much for free at the early game. The next one we're gonna go for is Pufferfish Cannon. There's a couple things I don't like about Pufferfish Cannon. First of all, it's a hoe or a shovel. Is it a hoe or I think it's a shovel. For whatever reason, it's a shovel. So if you put it in your offhand and you like try and right click the ground or you just like try and right click the ground anyways, just like put the pufferfish on the ground. You till the ground. I hate that so much. Also, sometimes the pufferfish just go through people. It doesn't do a ton of damage. It's all right. It's a little annoying, but I feel like there's weapons that kind of do it that are just better. And I honestly think Pufferfish Cannon is now a C tier. Pufferfish Cannon, when you used to be able to like rush it instantly and like you have to go Fisherman Kit to get this. It's kind of just like one of those things where like if you go Fisherman Kit to fish for bows, you also just get it. It's just like it doesn't work half the time. If there's somebody too close to you, you can't just like hit it off the ground because you till the ground. I'm gonna put it at C. That's what we got is the Emerald Blade. So Emerald Blade, I think, has gotten better because of the fact that there is not a lot of enchants in the game. If you can rush Emerald Blade before PvP, you can get like Sharp 3, almost Sharp 4 after like the first 5 minutes of PvP. And you're just going to have the best sword in the game because nobody else is really making enchants that quickly. And it's also pretty cheap. I'm going to put it in B. In the end, it still is just a diamond sword that's going to have Sharp, you know, Sharp 3, Sharp 4. You can get it at like Sharp 6. I think it's like a top of B. It's definitely better than Artemis Bow. It's definitely better than Artemis Bow. It's just a really good early game weapon. If you could put other enchantments on it, like if you could put like a fire aspect on it, I think it would be 10 times better. I think we're gonna put it top of B right now. Next one we got is Magma Blade. Or Magma, is that called Magma Blade? Magma Sword? Magma Club. Thank you. Magma Club is a tough one for me. Magma Club gives you a chance to hit people with fire. Like it's got like a 20% chance or whatever that if you hit somebody, it sets them on fire. Gives you fire res. It's also a light neth. It's enchantable. And it's really not that expensive to craft if you find the melons and stuff. I mean, in reality, is this controversial to say that it's better than Katana? It's like probably dude, it might be an end S tier. I think it's better than Katana. I'm trying to think here. What would I rather have? I feel like the teleporting is just so much better. They actually might be equal. Like they both have their own thing. I think they're equal, bro. Yeah, I honestly think that they are pretty equal. I do think that these are like super comparable. I wouldn't mind having either one of these. I think I would rather have Katana. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this for now. I like this. Next one we got is War Pick. First of all, it does so much damage. I don't know since when War Pick has done so much damage. The only thing I don't like about War Pick is the timing of it. I just don't like the play style you have to have because you kind of have to like play it more like an axe play style because it's slower. I think this was an S tier when you could get player heads before PvP. But I think if you add in the fact that you can't really get this until after PvP now, unless you kill like a logged out person before PvP, I think that makes it an A tier. Like it's obviously like a super strong weapon. It does so much damage, but I think the fact that you can't get heads for it, I think I'm going to put it this, like, it's gonna be like a mid A tier just because by the time you get it, it just becomes weaker. You know what I'm saying? Like this is super strong against full iron players and stuff like that. You know, by the time you get your first kill or whatever, and like say you got all this stuff ready for it, like I feel like if you got it before PvP, it's an insane weapon. The fact that you have to like wait a little bit, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it here. How much damage does this do? Is this like better than a Sharp 3 diamond? Is this better than a Sharp 3 diamond? Sharp 8? That is ridiculous, bro. I like War Pick then in A. I think it'd be S if you could still get normal heads at the start of the games. Next we got Aiglos. It's like not a hard craft if you get the pearl. It doesn't do a ton of damage. You can obviously use it as a main weapon too because it is a light netherite. Obviously this weapon was not meant to be a movement legendary. That's just kind of what we've turned it into. Dude, I think it's a C, bro. The best thing you can use it for is movement, and that's not even what it was like really intended for. So I think it's a C tier. I don't really have a ton to talk about it. It's mid. The next one we got is Mjolnir. If you go nether and you find the structure that has the lodestone, it's super easy to make. You're making Mjolnir every time you find the lodestone pretty much. Costs like what, like 3 diamonds? It's so cheap. Is it just an axe, a lodestone, and a magma? So Mjolnir, first of all, if you crit somebody with Mjolnir, when you have your lightning ability, it does like to a full iron, it does so much damage because is it an iron axe base? Either way, it doesn't even matter because it does the lightning damage on top. 3 hearts of lightning plus the axe crit. If you do it to a full line, you're doing like 6 hearts. Insane. If you're running away from somebody, you can throw it at them and knock them back. I don't see any way that this is not an S tier weapon. What's vaulted mean? Well, that's a good question. I'm gonna put Fountain of Fate in there. So Fountain of Fate, I don't think they're gonna make it so you can craft it again. Maybe I'm wrong. It's literally not even a legendary. I think this is more of a utility craft. It should give you like 8 hearts of regen and another effect for like a couple minutes. It should be a utility craft, I'll be honest. I'm not really gonna talk about Fountain of Fate too much, but it is there. It is there. This one is Shadow Blade. So Shadow Blade is another one like Sonic, where if you find the ancient city, you're probably gonna be able to craft it. It feels like a balanced weapon, because if you're chasing somebody with Shadow Blade, you can't crit them in the back, so you have to hit them, and it ends up like doing like a KB hit, so they end up getting farther anyways. So it's not super strong if even you're chasing somebody. The best thing is like if you're hitting the ability and they're straight up fighting you and they're trying to fight back, they just can't hit you. But obviously if you put like an arrow in them, I think in Battle Royale it's a little bit worse than duels. There's just so much more variables in Battle Royale than there is in duels. I think in duels this might be like an A tier type weapon, but I think in Battle Royale this is a top B. That's my opinion there on Shadow Blade. This one we got is Enderbow. It's a power 3 bow. It has insane movement. I'm obviously gonna be biased a little bit towards the bows. I want to put this in bottom A. I would rather have an Enderbow than Artemis and Shadow Blade and Emerald Blade. I just think the movement's too good. Next we got Void Staff. I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about it much. I honestly could put this in Vaulted. I don't know if they're ever gonna put this back to be crafted, but if they do, it's still a D. It's okay if you're trying to trap somebody, I guess. Yeah, it needs a rework or something. I don't even want to talk about Void Staff. Useless. Next one is Lich Staff. This is a Silk Touch legendary. It requires ice to craft. So this doesn't do a ton of damage. It's pretty much just a movement and anti-movement legendary. You can use it to boost yourself and chase anybody. You can also use it to slow people down because it shoots like the frozen slowness at them. I'm gonna put it above the movement of Enderbow. Like this, I feel like this relies on you needing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think Lich Staff is definitely a little bit above Enderbow. It's gonna be like, it's gonna stay like mid A. So Elytra. It's a little annoying to craft. Sure. So first of all, you can't use rockets with it. So you can only use the rockets. The rocket boost it has every 45 seconds, I think. It costs 4 diamonds to craft. It's a little bit of a trickier craft. It's good movement, and it's actually good in fights. When you're like, you can even use it when you're fighting somebody. The hitbox you have when you're like in the flying animation, like and you're fighting somebody, it's insane. It's so hard to hit somebody if they're like in the flying animation. You literally can like combo somebody like that. I think that the fact that there's just no durability anymore, it's like, wow, 100 dura and you just burn through that. It used to be like an S tier. I'm gonna put it at B. Now we're to Poseidon's Trident. This is one of my favorite legendaries. This has movement. It does good damage. I think they removed the lightning off of melee hit, which made it insane. But this also has dolphin scrapes when you go in the water, so people can't even run away in the water. I think I'd rather have Poseidon over Katana. Next one we got is the Ravager Horn. Ravager Horn, I feel like I haven't seen it in rotation in a while, but it's a super easy craft. You save a lot of health doing that, like using it. It's another like movement as well. It is good late game. It's just the Ravager doesn't have a ton of health in reality. There's like a 5-minute cooldown or something. Like it's a crazy cooldown to get your next one. I think it's like another kind of support. It's not gonna do a ton of damage to people, but it can save you healing, save you time, stuff like that. I think I'm gonna put the swords above it. I think I'd rather have the swords than Ravager, but Ravager is still pretty solid. Beehive Blaster, they recently nerfed to make it so you had to fully charge it back so the bees would come out. But then they had to revert that nerf because I think it broke every other legendary. So now you can still instantly pop bees if somebody's chasing you. The only thing that is bad with the Beehive Blaster is it just doesn't work against people with skeleton leggings, which just makes it a completely useless weapon. When people don't have skeleton leggings, it is so strong. The bees last 12 seconds. Like there's like no downtime between bees. Like you can just keep popping bees and people keep getting poisoned and they can't run away, and it's super annoying. The only thing that's bad about it that wouldn't make it like an instant like top of A is the fact that skeleton leggings exist, which make it so the bees don't aggro on you, and it makes it useless. So I think this is definitely a B as well. Like I said, I'd much rather have bees over Puffer. And I don't know if that's a hot take. Next one we got is Hypnosis Staff. This is another totem legendary. It's a totem key item, so it's not like a super common one. Since vanilla map was added, there's so much skulk like areas, like deep dark areas. Like you could just make a nether reactor core every game and hope that if you got a gas tier, you make a totem and you make Hypnosis Staff and you spawn in a warden, because there's so much skulk in these caves now that you can like just get a warden to spawn and tame it. Hypnosis Staff is just so good in vanilla map. I'm gonna put it bottom B. This used to be like a C, but I'm gonna put it bottom B just because if you can get a warden, it's not insta win, but it's close, bro. You think it's A? I'm gonna put it B. The fact that it also makes you get targeted is like if somebody sees somebody with an Artemis Bow, they're like, whatever. If somebody sees somebody with 8 mobs and there's like 3 people left, they're all gonna be shooting at the guy with 8 mobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that has to factor in somewhere where you're gonna get turbo targeted more if you have this over most legendaries, just because they can just visually see all the mobs around you. Everybody's gonna target you in the mobs. In a 1v1, it's insane, but in battle royale, I don't think it's like crazy. The next one we got is Wither Sickles. The thing about these is this is the only sword legendary, I think, that you can't enchant. These are like, okay, so the thing is like, it has a chance to hit people with Wither, which is like cool. It's really good if you're insane at like 3 blocking people and like you're like super good at your spacing. I think it's a C. I think these are C. If you can enchant them, these are like just way worse chakrams that you can't throw. I don't know what to say. I think these are just C. I think this is probably the proper way. I think this is the proper way. Next one we got is Gerald. So here's the thing with Gerald. Gerald's gonna be crafted pretty much every single game. Everybody wants to craft Gerald. Now, the question is, do we think Gerald actually got a buff with the fact that you could get every legendary? Because there are some stinker legendaries. Like, now that you can like craft Gerald and get Fountain of Fate or Void Staff, it's a gamble, but in reality, it's a gamble of 4 diamonds. Would I rather have the chance to get anything for 4 diamonds or keep 4 diamonds to make an enchant table? You know what I'm saying? I think Gerald is the #1 A. He honestly should have his own tier, to be honest. Gerald should be in his own tier. I think he's just A. I think he's just A. So the next one we got is Jim. I don't have to say much about Jim. Jim obviously is a hefty craft, but they actually buffed his craft now that all beehives start full. You can actually rush Jim again pretty easily. Probably the closest thing we have to like an insta win. Jim, you could like rush like a power 8 bow. You could rush a sharp 7 sword. Stuff like that you could get pretty quickly in the game is like kind of insane. Plus, if you can get things like Sonic Crossbow with multi-shot 3, I mean, that's literally like one-shotting people, you know what I mean? You can get Riptide 7, you can get full prot like 3 if you wanted. Like, he's just so strong. He's insane to get from Gerald, and he's not even that hard of a craft. I think he's probably the easiest S tier, and he's also the coolest. I mean, look at him. Like, is this guy not just so swag? Like, look at that guy. That's why we got his Guardian Cannon. Can you even craft this thing anymore? On vanilla map, where are the ocean monuments? Like, I feel like I run to the ocean. I barely ever see ocean monuments anymore, right? I think now that with vanilla map in solos, this is like so hard to craft. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't think it's that strong in battle royale anyways, because you see somebody pulling back a Guardian Cannon, what do? You turn the other way and they'll get like a couple hearts of damage on you max. The best thing about it is the movement. This also has Dolphin's Grace, you know what I mean? Like, I know this has like the launch of the Guardians, but I just don't think it's good. I think it's impossible to craft. I'm gonna put it bottom C. You can just web someone and do like 10 hearts. If you can web somebody and they don't get out of the web by the time you load up your Guardian Cannon or like hit you or something, you're fighting some absolute noobs, and I don't think you need Guardian Cannon in the first place. Next one we got is Cloud Sword, which I haven't seen it much in rotation recently anyways. It gives you a small speed boost when you hold it, which stacks on top of your other speed, which makes it pretty decent. It has good movement to get away and like heal. That's all it does, really. I guess you can people like stuck in like the stuff. I don't know if I'd rather have it or Midas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is a C. I don't think this is an A. I think if the speed boost was a little bit more, if this was like OG Katana speed boost when you held it, like an actual like almost speed 1 on top of whatever you're holding, if you get up to like speed 3 when holding this when you had speed 2, but in reality this just feels like having a light netherite sword that like helps you heal a little bit. And I honestly think that it's on the same level as Midas with me. The thing about this is also for laggy players, you just fall through the powdered snow and it just doesn't feel fun to use. You know what I mean? I just think it's a C. And so we got his Horn of Winter. Now here's my question. Do I just put this in vaulted? When's the last time we saw a Horn of Winter be a legendary? If it's not in vaulted, I'm gonna put it in D. I might as well just put it in D because I don't think it's coming out again. Horn of Winter was a swing and a miss for even horse bowers. It really was not expensive to craft. First of all, it's super buggy. The amount of times that I've just gotten stuck in the middle of the air floating after like it died, or I just got instantly crit out. It was just one of those super buggy things. Half the time when you got on it, you couldn't even shoot right away. You had to like make sure you were standing still before you used it. I didn't like the icicle thing. When you shot your bow on it, it shot like icicles and it felt like they did less damage than my bow did anyways. And it was honestly a weirder projectile to hit. The best thing about Horn of Winter was the fact that it had an ability that you get people stuck in like powdered snow, and its movement, I guess. But honestly, the movement was bad too because every 10 seconds, the horse kicks up in the air and you're stuck in the air. I think Horn of Winter's ass. I think it needs a little bit of a rework if they ever want to put it back. I think it's more of like a vaulted weapon, like like this as well. But I think it's just ass. I really do. That's my opinion on that. The next one we got is Crimson Crossbow. No, not Crimson. What's this called? Corrupted Crossbow. Corrupted Crossbow. They actually buffed this recently, and I think the buff makes it kind of insane. Now it makes so you and your teammates don't take damage when you shoot it. So this shoots like a big poison cloud, and it like decays the ground and stuff. And before, if you shot it like on yourself or on a teammate, it did damage to them. But they removed that, and I honestly think it makes it really good because it's a good weapon. If somebody's chasing you, you can just shoot it behind you, and they get slowed down by poison 2, I think it is. So it super slows them down, and it like decays the ground. The decay in the ground doesn't do a ton, but it could trip them up a little bit. I mean, this is honestly, I think since that you could now shoot this at your feet and chip away at somebody. I don't know if I want to, dude, there's a lot of strong legendaries. I'm starting to realize. I think there's gonna be a lot of A legendaries, which I think is actually smart. I honestly think it's around A. I think it's like mid to top A. I do think it's pretty comparable to the other crossbow though. I actually think this is a pretty good spot for it. Let's figure out his Harpoon. I don't really know how to gauge Harpoon. It's a complete support legendary. And I honestly don't know how I either put it right here with the other movement legendaries. These are like all movement legendaries. It's pretty much like bottom A just because it's like insanely cheap to craft, or just B with the other movement ones. I feel like it's the most just like because it's not really legendary. This honestly just feels like a super utility craft because all it does is just grapple you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a harpoon. You're gonna have to drag people towards you or go places. So yeah, I think I like Harpoon than B. I don't have to say much about it. Next we got a Shrink Ray. So Shrink Ray, you can either make yourself tiny and go super fast and become really hard to hit, or you make somebody big and you super slow them down and make it hard for them to run away. Thing now is it's just including crafting. I don't know how you craft this. Getting this from Gerald feels amazing. Trying to craft this thing in solos is just impossible because it requires stuff from a ocean monument, and those are just so rare. But in reality, like the crafting stuff like is not really that expensive. I think I'm still gonna put it bottom S just because I think it's so strong. If you find somebody in a cave with it, even with like their changes on it, it's still so hard for people to get away. I think Shrink Ray is still bottom of S tier. The next we got Excalibur. Taking a notch up with a craft is obviously better than Midas now. So it gives you 3 hits of invincibility and it's a light netherite. 3 hits of invincibility can super turn a fight, bro. But I think I'd rather have this over a notch apple more so than I would have this. I think this is a B. I think I want it as much as I want Emerald Blade. Next we got is Golem. So Golem is certainly not as strong as Mjolnir. If you rush Nether a lot and you get a lodestone, you're like, please, 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 Mjolnir be in rotation. You would much rather see Mjolnir in rotation rather than Golem. People have really realized how to counter it. You can either web them or you can water bucket them. It doesn't do like a ton of damage, and like its leap is like whatever. I feel like Golem is, you can still use it a little bit for movement, but this also feels honestly less like a crazy legendary, more like another movement like support type thing that also has a little bit of damage and slows. The slow doesn't even really do much in my opinion. Even if you hit somebody with a slowness thing, it doesn't really do a ton. Honestly, I do like it here. Yeah, yeah, you never knew it slowed. Exactly. It gives people like slowness 2 for like 4 or maybe like 3 seconds after they get hit by it, like the big AoE. But like at that point, you've already closed the gap so much that they instantly just turn on you. So I'm definitely gonna put that in B. The next one we got is Evoker. So this is another totem legendary. It costs a totem and some bones. There is a chance that this is an S tier. It's super short cooldown. The only thing that really hurt Evoker is the recent nerf. So now you have to let it fully charge before you can use its abilities. Like you know when you like wait for like your sword to fully charge before you go for hit, you have to wait for your Evoker to fully charge before you can use it. You can't just like instantly turn on somebody and like pull it out and hit them with the Evoker fangs anymore, which definitely hurts it a lot. But the reflect is super good. First of all, you can reflect legendaries. You can reflect people ender pearling away from you. You can reflect Beehive. You can reflect a lot of things, and it also just makes it like if somebody's bowing you, they can't bow you. You know what I mean? And the cooldown is so short on it. I think it's super strong. What really hurt it was the recent nerf to it. I think it's top of A though. I think it's a high A. I think that if you could still pull it out. Also, people have realized that like you can double block. If you're chasing somebody with Evoker, I probably shouldn't say this because I don't want people to know how to counter it. I guess I will. If somebody has Evoker and you see them pull it out, now that they can't instantly shoot it, as soon as they pull it out and you're chasing them, you block, double block, up in the air. If you're 2 blocks up, the Evoker fangs don't hit you. I think that also hurts it as well. Evoker is pretty solid still. Definitely the nerf hurt a little bit though, for sure. We have Skulkweavers Lantern. This is another ancient city legendary, where if you get all the stuff from ancient city, you're pretty much gonna be able to craft it every time. Thing about this is it has a super long cooldown, but if you're stacked already, it's pretty strong because you can literally just stop people from running. You have like all the mobs that are fighting with you in it. People kind of just like sit in a little corner and like they just keep blocking it off. But in general, I still think it's a super strong legendary. I think this is high A. I think it's more here. I think it's more low A, honestly. I think it's low A. Like with these other support legendaries, I think it's more like there. This is Armadillo. This is either B or A, but only because it's easy to craft, and I have to look at it the same way I looked at Sonic, where the fact that it is nearly an instant win if you get multi-shot on it. Multi-shot Armadillo Cannon is insane. Like Armadillo is definitely weaker than Sonic in general. It's a lot harder to hit people with it. You can use it mostly by running away. It's not as much as an aggro one. Like if somebody's running away, it's kind of hard to lob it and like let it hit somebody. If you get multi-shot on it, it's just so insane. I think it is a B. Where do I want it in B though? Probably with the Bs. I think I like that. Next we got is Kim. Factoring in crafting. And crafting Kim has always been weird. So first of all, I think at one point they made it so she required a template upgrade. Am I crazy? Then they changed that. She requires a portable villager now, which is just so ridiculous. I hate the portable villager craft. I don't know why. It's just so tedious. It makes people not want to craft the things with it. She requires a lot of diamonds too. I think she's bottom A, but the craft is just so insane. But she only has 3 upgrades. But that, like, if you have a diamond sword and full iron and you get Kim, you get half diamond and a netherite sword, which you can't really complain about, you know? Her craft is like kind of mid. How many diamonds does she cost to craft too? Is it 7? Pretty much like you're turning 7 diamonds into like 15 and a netherite sword. You know what I mean? Like if you get the stuff to craft her, you can make a diamond chestplate, diamond pants, and turn your diamond sword into a netherite. Next we got is Soul Gauntlet. I actually don't remember the craft for it. Can somebody tell me the craft for this? It's a lodestone craft? Oh, if this is a lodestone craft, I think I'm gonna put it in C. I just don't even think it's that strong. People just run away from the clones. The clones aren't faster than you. You have to, I feel like it could be really good. Extra half armor bar though. But yeah, then you gotta have it in your offhand, which means you can't have blocks. I don't think that it's as good as these other legendaries. I think it's literally right here is where it is. The next we got is Phantom Bow. I'm gonna be honest. So first of all, you get the Silk Touch book, which I mean, there's like pretty much always a Silk Touch book in mid, right? People don't understand how good this is. So now you just gotta know how to use this bow. When you shoot somebody, it can give them blindness, not darkness, blindness. Blindness stops people from sprinting. You don't understand how strong that is. You hit somebody with blindness, they can't run. Even for 2 seconds though. That's so good. You can always, like if somebody's trying to run away from you and you shoot them in the back, they have blindness, you gain so much ground. Phantoms now work. So if you shoot somebody, the phantoms spawn, the phantoms actually do keep flying in at people and doing like chip damage as well. You get free power 3. The bow is super cheap. I mean, it's super cheap to craft. I'm honestly putting it here with Artemis. I honestly, at the current moment, now I haven't seen Artemis in rotation in a minute. I haven't had Artemis in a minute, so I don't really know how good it is with this recent buff, but I honestly, at this point, I really like Phantom. Next one we got is Chrono Sword. I think I'm gonna disagree with you. I don't know if this is an S tier sword, just because the ability is so easily counterable. Like its one ability is super easily counterable. The only place you can't counter this is if you're in the cave. I know it's free HP, but like only if you're, the ability gives you speed 2 now. But then by the time they run away, like even if you get a couple hits on them while they're running away, like they're gonna heal. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty easy to craft. Like, don't get me wrong. If you get the Ender Pearl, other stuff comes super easily. You can even craft this without going to the Nether, which is kind of crazy. Cause like there's some structures that have the soul lanterns in it. Think that it's at the same, I literally think these are like all of these are the same to me, but I honestly think I'd rather have a TP or Fire Res or Riptide over the Chrono Sword ability. I honestly think I'd rather have all of these other melee weapons over it. The next one we got is Worse Harpoon. This is a Ribbit Reel, so it's an easy craft. Requires a frog in a bucket. I don't even think this is B tier. I think this is Worse Harpoon. I think it's C tier. The slowness doesn't really do a lot. This is literally just like one of those support legendaries where it's like, if you combine this with like having a good sword or good armor or whatever, it's good. The lily pad super jumps are good. If you have lily pads, you know what I'm saying? If you go fisherman kit, yeah, I guess. Or if you find a swamp, you just collect all the lily pads, I guess. But Ribbit Reel might be bottom C. I'll be honest. I think Ribbit Reel is bottom C. I don't think it's bad enough to put in D tier, but it's literally just a support legendary and it's just Worse Harpoon. I'd rather drag people in with Harpoon than drag people in with this, to be honest. Next we got is Eagle Eye Bow. Eagle Eye Bow was supposed to be one of my favorite legendaries, okay? I really thought this was gonna be one of my favorite legendaries, but the jump boost on it is the worst thing ever. If somebody is chasing you and you try and turn and bow them, you jump and you're just stuck in the air. The arrow is super hard to hit even when you're up in the air. It just nerfs it so much. Obviously, it has power 3 and it does 1.5x damage if you hit a headshot, which is cool. You can do like 5 hearts a shot to a full iron, which is insane. But that ability makes it so bad. It is the worst bow. I honestly think I'd rather have, I think it's like top of C. If they could like make the jump boost ability like a toggle or something like that, I would like it. I would rather have all of these other bows. All of these other bows are better than Eagle Eye Bow. The craft is easy, by the way, except for getting the stupid rabbit's foot, which always is so friggin' hard. Oh my god, so friggin' hard. Next one we got is Death Note. Insta S used to be an insta win. We're gonna put that on vaulted. It's never coming back. I like the idea they had with Death Note. They wanted something different. They wanted something cool. Glad that got taken out. I don't want to talk about Death Note much. It used to literally like you could just insta kill people with it or take their hearts and stuff. It's vaulted though. I'm not even gonna go much upon it. Next one we got is Magma Cannon. It's another new one and it's not a hard craft and you can use it to slow people down. It gives you fire res. The super magma does a good amount of damage and it's on a short cooldown. I think it's pretty comparable to Sonic and Corrupted. I think it's around here. Ignites yourself. Yeah, but if you hold it, it gives you fire res while holding it. It doesn't give you the fire res effect, but you have fire res while holding it, but it does light yourself on fire, which is annoying. Super easy to craft. It's definitely comparable to these ones as well. The next one is Villager Wand. Has a super long cooldown, but it literally just does true damage. If you're fighting somebody with this, it's just insane. It does a big explosion, does a lot of true damage. It's not even that hard to craft, besides the fact that you need XP bottles for it. I think Villager Wand is... I think I'd rather put it here. I think Villager Wand, I think it's better than... What's the thing that DPS is on it? What's the cooldown on Villager Wand? 9 true damage, like 4.5 hearts true damage every like minute. You probably do more damage over time with Sonic than you do Villager Wand. I think it's like just one of these like big explosion type, big burst damage type weapons. We got Happy Ghast. I'm just gonna put that in D. I mean, it's cool. It's a Happy Ghast. It's super slow. You gotta shoot a fireball and be annoying. It is better than Horn, but it's not good. The damage the fireball does is just annoying. It's not even crazy. I don't think it's a low C. I really don't think it's a low C. I think it's a D. I'm gonna keep it a D personally because I don't think I'll ever craft it. Okay, next one we got is Gruntilda. Gruntilda, what's the craft for Gruntilda, chat? Portable villager, 1 netherwort, 1 diamond, 2 blaze rods. I think now with the recent changes to the nether reactor core, Gruntilda's an easy rush. I think that she's actually pretty solid. And I think she deserves to go with Kim. I think she's easier to craft than Kim, and the chances of getting like a crazy potion like Diamond Touch, you get full diamond instantly, you know what I mean? For like a pretty cheap cost. She's not that expensive. You can now get your 1 netherwort. She might even be, I think she's better than Kim, to be honest. But she's just another tedious craft. I know Kim is another sword, but the potions are also pretty OP. I think they're pretty comparable. Next one we got is Headhunter's Chestplate, which before the nerf was the best thing in the game. Headhunter's Chestplate has been nerfed, so instead of getting, were you getting like strength 1 when you had it or something? But now they changed it to, you get plus 0.5 attack damage when you wear it. And then you get strength 3, which they nerfed the strength again. So the strength 3 is not even like insane. So it requires a piglin head, a diamond chestplate, the weeping vines. I think it's probably the best B. Also, yeah, it had prot 3 as well. I think it's the best B. I don't think it's that crazy more. I think it's top B. I think I'd rather have it over this, but I think all these things I'd rather have over the Headhunter Chestplate now. Definitely gonna keep that here. Next one we got is Crimson Chainsword, which is also requires a piglin head like this. But Crimson Chainsword might be the only S tier, but I think it's bottom of S tier. This weapon is probably the best melee weapon. So you can enchant it. It's a light netherite sword. It has a bleeding effect, which slows people down. And it does like twice the damage when they're low health. It's definitely bottom S. The craft for it's a little annoying. You just need a piglin head though, really. And you get an insane weapon. It's just such an insane weapon. Yeah, you also get strength after a kill. And then we have my favorite legendary, the Freezing Chakrams, which I do think that they are absolutely insane. This is like one of the few weapons where it recharges over time. So you don't need to like shoot all 4 chakrams like you do with the Lich Staff to get it to recharge. So you can pretty much just keep the chakrams uptime as long as you want. It's also a light netherite sword. And for whatever reason, there's a glitch or whatever, you can combine chakrams with a diamond sword, like enchanted diamond sword. So you have like a sharp 3 fire diamond sword. You can put that on your chakrams. It's actually insane. They slow people down with the freezing. It's my favorite legendary. I'm gonna put it just below Jim. I think the chakrams are absolutely insane. They're my favorite legendary. I think they're one of the best legendaries in the game for sure. And then the last one, this is Grimoire. Okay, this is Grim. This is one of the first legendaries in the game. It's literally just an enchanted book. It's like Tablets of Destiny from Hypixel UHC. It just has like, it's just an enchanted book with a ton of enchantments. It had like sharp, fire aspect, protection, punch, power. They vaulted it because it's not really a legendary. Maybe once again they could make this a utility craft, and it has like some other enchantments on it, and it just, I don't know, requires some other stuff. You can't get it anymore. You can't even put it in custom games. But that is my tier list. You guys can think about whatever you want. You can put your own opinions. You can make your own tier list, but this is my opinions for the tiers of all the weapons. So let me know what you think about it. I think this is a pretty solid list. A lot of strong legendaries. There's most in A tier. B's are right. I think this is a pretty solid list. Obviously, you can argue, yell at clouds. I don't care. This is my list though.